Three. All right, all right. Welcome back. We got another episode of Inspired by True Event Sports podcast. Here we got Phil.
Yo,
Today we're pretty much we're short staffed. Kenny had something to come up, but shout out to Kenny, man.
right.
We're gonna miss you on this episode. We got a lot of good stuff to pack in for this episode. I'm really excited. So we'll start off. Phil, how you been? How's your week going?
Good,
Everything.
just busy and everything. Just
Definitely,
chilling out.
definitely. All right. So we got a lot of good topics today. And it's the NFL is booming right now. We got the NBA going. Um, but most importantly, we're focused on NFL right now. How you feel about the potential shutdowns of the league coming? Because the pretty much COVID is spreading between the teams and all that stuff. How you feeling about that?
Honestly, I was probably scared of it as soon as like the league season started because we had all the false positives and stuff like that. That was kind of like a like a preview of what to come because so far the NBA is the only league that's had no problems with COVID. They didn't have any positives or anything, and the NFL seems to be struggling with the Titans messing it up for everyone, and it's just been a trickle effect.
Yeah, I think it comes down to that controlled environment the NBA is in. So it's like I think Kendrick Nunn, or was it Kendrick Nunn?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he had it.
I think he either had it or like had people thought he had it because he was sort of
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he was out in the playoffs for a while. But
yeah.
yeah, I think for me, like looking at how everything's going as far as the league, it's just people are like, I would be really cautious because the money's not guaranteed. So I would be doing everything in my power to like to make sure not to mess up my money. And because if the games are forfeited, that means that the owners don't have to pay them. So
Right.
like I'm telling my teammates, don't go like just chill out. Let's get through the season and then you can go party, do whatever you want. But
No Magic City, just stay in your room.
the Magic City,
And think about it.
the
A
lemon
side note,
pepper wings.
right? I heard those are terrible, by the way. So I don't know
What?
why there. The wings. That's
The
why. That's why he went there allegedly. That's why Lua went there for the wings.
he from down there, so like he probably that's the culture down there. They love the lemon pepper wings.
I'll say
I
if
never, me personally, I never had the wings like that before. So you know,
yeah, if the NBA can do that in Florida, which is one of the craziest hotspots in
yeah.
Orlando, then I don't see
I
how
took
that.
a I took a trip down at the beginning, well, closer to the beginning of COVID to Miami. So it's it's a good time in Florida. Florida is a good place to be, man.
Right.
Speaking of shutdowns, man, we're gonna go right into it. Got to be the worst division in football. It's been the one of the worst divisions in football for years, and it's time to get them off TV. It's time for them to just not be the focal point of this league because they're always on TV. I'm so tired of the Giants. I'm so tired of the Eagles. Just poor play week in and week out. The Cowboys are overrated. How are you America's team and you don't win anything? Uh, It's
Right.
just beyond me. Then you got the Redskins. My
The
fault.
America's
My
football,
fault.
the
My
football
fault.
team,
The football team. I apologize.
quick edit.
Quick at it. Now we're gonna leave that in there. But
Yep.
we got Washington, Philadelphia, Dallas, and New York.
Is it
New
just
York,
football team? It's not, or is what's the official title? It's
the
the football,
Washington, yeah, it's the Washington football team.
and they're first or second. The team that doesn't even have a team name is first or second.
Yeah, no, that's it's crazy. But how do you feel about the landscape of that and how we've been bamboozled, led astray, and
But
hoodwinked for years that division is good because
honestly,
they all struggle to get to 9 wins or 8 wins. And
yeah,
there's no
10 or 7
way
or 8 and 8.
like there's no way you could say they're competitive or they're good. It's a good division because they're just terrible right now.
Right.
But
Yeah. I mean, pretty much if all the games can get blacked out, it'd be perfect. Like you see NBA TV, if someone's in a region, the game's blacked out. If we can do that for like all the NFC East games, like if they're playing in the division, yeah. But if they're playing like someone outside of the division, then it might be fun to watch just to laugh at them to see how they do.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But like, yeah, like you're right on that part. Like when they're playing against each other, it gets entertaining because it matters so much more. But when we got the 49ers against the Giants, and the game I was watching, was it last week or the week before? Giants played the 49ers. It was 6-6.
Yeah.
I went to Popeyes or something. I came back, it was 36-9.
Right. We watch it just basically just for fantasy purposes. That's it.
And it's like, why is this on TV?
Right.
When they're this bad? But I think that division is really sad to watch week in and week out. It's just we could start with the Washington football team. They have a good base, but they just can't find it on offense. The defense is good. They just can't find it on offense.
Yeah. And I think I saw something where Dwayne Haskins had the best game of his career, then he got brought down to third in the depth chart.
Yeah, and it's but I feel like he was already playing all uphill battle anyway, because Ron Rivera, he's got to try and keep his job because he probably knows that he could be gone at any minute. But I don't think he'll be gone because he's won in the league. So I think he's good for them because he's a defensive minded coach anyway.
Plus he's battling cancer too, I believe. So
yeah, he is. So going from them, that's what I think about them. I like them to eventually, if they get offensive weapons, to be dangerous. They need an offensive line. I think they could, if they honestly get pieces on offense and get linemen, particularly the tackles. All you need is tackles. You can see the people coming from the guards and the center. You can't really see the people coming off the edge because you got to keep your eyes on field. But
yeah, to be honest, I don't know if any linemen would like sign with them after how they treated their.
Trent.
Trent Williams.
I don't know how you even let him go. He's such a monster, and he's been a monster forever in this league. But going from there, you got we'll talk about the New York Giants. What's your take on the Giants right now in the NFC least?
I mean, no Barkley. Just they're terrible on both sides of the ball. They're not even good on. I mean, they were like all right on offense because they had Barkley to run through, but Daniel Jones is just proven to be almost another Eli Manning, to be honest.
Yeah, that's very true. Eli Manning that can run. For me, I was watching. They played good football last week. I watched that Rams game. It was 6-6 for most of the game.
Yep.
They played good football. They were playing. It looked like they were playing for Golden Tate because it looked like he did some speech that he wanted to beat up Jalen Ramsey. And they went out there and played lights out for him, but obviously it didn't work out because late game the Rams pulled away.
Ramsey waited for him in the locker room too. I think there's a report.
He got fined too. He got fined $16,000, Jalen Ramsey. So and Tate didn't, nothing happened to him, I guess. So he gets to walk away. He lost the game, but he won the fight. So I think that with the Giants, it's really tough to like really understand what they're doing because they don't know what they want to do on offense. Like, do you want to run? Do you want to pass? Like I feel like Michael Strahan said something at halftime of the 49ers game. He was like, all they need to do is find one thing and run that into the ground until you're forced to do something else. Find one thing you're good at and then work at that. But I think with the Giants, they're gonna be bad for a while until they get an Odell type of quality star player to help out Saquon.
Right.
Because Saquon and him going down, now he got that devastating knee injury. That shit's tough to watch. He's gonna be definitely one of the best backs that we see for probably the next 10 years. Hopefully the 10 years. Right. We'll see what happens.
And quick side note.
Yep.
What do you think about the turf? Because we heard a lot of players complaining about it so far. I think the 49ers complained about it. Some people got injured on it already. Like a bunch of players got injured on that turf.
Yeah, they've been saying that for a couple of years since they moved there.
Yeah.
They've been saying that. I don't know if the maintenance is different. But the players obviously don't like it. The league definitely needs to do something, force them to do something. I don't know what kind of, obviously they roll it on there or they probably could take it up. I wonder what kind of stuff they're using. Are they is it actual turf or is it like the grass roll over, where it's pretty much real grass, but they roll it on and it's probably just terrible.
I'll probably look that up later
Yeah,
on.
because I got to look into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I definitely saw Mostert. He definitely said he wasn't playing. Kittle said he wasn't playing. Garoppolo said I was. He was like, I'm not playing on that field. So
Yeah.
um, that's real interesting. We never really seen uh players say I'm not playing. Like, cause your field is terrible. I'm not playing on that field. So going from there, what do you think about the Eagles? Mostly we're gonna go right to the Eagles in the NFC least because it's the worst division.
I'm gonna go first because I know you have a whole speech ready. So
No, I don't have a whole speech ready. I think it's just really the fans just make it really tough to like them. Um, and I'm a fan and a student of the game, like especially when I played and stuff. And I'm really like I'm a Saints fan, but I love watching other players that are good, no matter if they're going against me or whatever it is. Like I said to Kenny, like Calvin Ridley is one of my favorite players to watch. He's a Falcons wide receiver, and I don't really care about that, but I love watching like certain Eagles players. I like watching Carson Wentz. I like Carson Wentz, but the fans don't like him. They want Jalen Hurts to take over the job. Well, how you feel about that?
I used to watch Levin Deshaun Jackson play.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I used to watch Levin Deshaun Jackson play because he was so fast.
Yeah, that team was one of the best teams we probably seen like
Right.
growing up and watching football. Like for offense and defense, they were stacked. Jeremy Maclin, you had Shady in his height of his game. D-Jack, you had who was the quarterback at that point? Was it
It was
Vic
either Vic
or McNabb was gone at that point,
I'm
wasn't it?
pretty sure it was Vic then.
Yeah. So like they had
And
so
that's
many
the
pieces,
Vic and Djax combo.
so many
Fire.
pieces.
So
So what do you think about the whole quarterback situation and the media? Media is going to basically bully the Eagles until they make the change. That's what's going to happen.
yeah,
And Carson Wentz kind of pushed them off a little bit by winning that game, that huge game against the 49ers
yeah.
last week. So what you think about like the fans pretty much calling for his head and wanting Jalen Hurts in there?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you mentioned this before, but most of the fans are like haven't been in their shoes or like haven't played competitively, knowing
Mm-hmm.
they just want a win, so they're willing to do whatever changes they want or they believe should happen to get it. And as for Carson, I think they should keep him. Let him be starter because their O line is completely decimated. They have so many wide receiver injuries. Carson Wentz,
Father time is coming. For,
right? Most of the line they used to have one of the best O lines in the league.
mm-hmm.
Now it's completely almost gone. I think Peters is old. I think they got an injury to someone else, but it's just been a lot of they've been having the same problems for the last 2 or 3 years, just injuries and then them playing catch up near the end of the year before it's too late.
Yeah, that's and I feel like like I said, I'm a fan of the game. I love watching good players and like even the teams. It don't matter. Like you could be playing against like the Saints. Like if somebody make a good play or they're a good player, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna be a hater, but the Eagles fans, y'all make it so difficult to like them, man. It's really it's unfortunate because y'all speak just straight from emotion and no logic whatsoever. If they put Jalen Hurts starting quarterback, trade Carson Wentz. Don't hold him hostage. Because that's what I feel like. I feel like it's coming. By if he loses 2 more games, he has to virtually go undefeated for the rest of the season to save his job.
Plus, something that doesn't help him out in that situation for once is he's really injury prone. So they're probably gonna say
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, he's probably gonna get injured again, so let's save him the trouble and just start Hurts over him anyways."
Yeah. But going from there, we're gonna go to it's gotta be the most overrated team in football. And they've been overrated for the dumbass star on their helmets and the media backing them. They have everything going for them. They have all types of media outlets that push that this is America's team. And it's so false. The
Shout out Kip Davis.
Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys. How do you feel about the Cowboys and how their season's going? Even though, even though on paper, they have a great offensive roster.
Right.
Dangerous offensive roster.
Right.
So how do you feel about how Dak is playing right now, and he's leading them?
Honestly, Dak is playing out of his mind because I mean the defense is trash right now. Because without Byron Jones, apparently their corners are all basura.
Oh
So,
yeah. What is it? Jordan Lewis. He's getting dropped off like he's a little kid going to daycare every game. And I like watching him because he played. He plays when the Cowboys play the Saints. He plays against Kamara and basically takes him out the game because he's basically a safety corner hybrid. So I like watching him. And then it's just like you get rid of Byron Jones, and then what else are you left with? Who I don't even know who the safeties are for them.
Xavier is it Xavier Woods or is it
I
corner?
think I think Xavier Woods, and that name rings a bell. But going from there, since you bring up the defense, people have told me I disagree with it. They say that those two linebackers, when healthy, are the best two linebackers in the league.
Vander Esch and
And Smith.
yeah.
Do you believe that?
I wouldn't say maybe top five, but
That's what Cowboys fans tell me when they're at their height. They're on TV. They have their 8 tackle games, and then they're crowned the best in the league. And I don't think it's true. Some people are saying Vander Esch is the best in the league last year, and I just some Cowboys fans say the craziest things. I tell you, I sit back. I wish I record them sometimes because it's just like it's like Bobby Wagner. Is he not in the league? Is Fred Warner not in the league? Fred Warner is better than both of them.
right.
There's so many linebackers that are over them, but it's like, bro.
I mean, it's basically the same thing every year, to be honest. Just they have such high expectations. Just the roster, they have so much talent, and they see
Yeah.
them being 8-8. And last year's reason was, oh, Jason Garrett doesn't know how to coach. Yada yada yada. You take Jason Garrett out of the situation,
And then you go get Mike McCarthy.
right? It's the same. It looks even worse than when Jason Garrett coached, to be honest, because Dak's looking amazing right now, but the defense lets up so many points.
You want to know why I disagree with that?
How so?
Okay, so he got blown out. They got blown out twice. So
Yeah.
he's gonna have to chuck the ball and get 500 yards for them to come back. So those stats, gotta be careful. He has the games where he's throwing for over 450 or whatever it is. It's because he's getting blown out because the defense can't get anybody off the field. Or they're not even scoring at that. They're early in the game, they're not scoring, then they get behind, so all they can do is pass. So I feel like there's probably sample sizes where he's making good plays, good throws, but that 500 yards is not like the Cowboys game, or not I said the Cowboys and Browns.
Yeah.
They were getting, it's 41-14 going into like the fourth or something like that. So if he don't throw for 500, they getting blown out by 30 plus just because. So like, I don't know. I feel like he's trying to make sure he gets his money when it comes. I
Right.
think he should walk away, but I don't know where he would go.
New England.
That's another thing. Oh man. No, he said New England.
I mean,
That would be dangerous.
I want Cam to be the first option, obviously, but
That
if
would be
Cam
dangerous.
decides to go elsewhere, Dak, we got you.
All right.
Go from America's team to America's team.
America's team.
America.
To be honest, America's team is probably the Patriots. I feel like
That's what I've been trying.
because
That's what I'm say.
and it's not even because of them winning. Like not even because they're like the Patriots. They like it's like the whole Patriots thing, U.S. Patriot.
Right.
But I feel like the way Bill Belichick runs the system, they've been so consistent. They should easily be America's team, like for how their organization is run, because everybody's trying to mimic what they're doing.
Right. The Lions, the Dolphins.
Yeah. Everybody. They're all trying to do that. But going from there, what do you say about the two best divisions in the league at this point, regardless of conference?
Got it.
Regardless.
First one, I'll probably say the still, I know it's been a bumpy ride for two of the teams, but probably the NFC West. The division with the Niners, Seahawks,
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals, and Rams.
Yep.
I mean, that was my pick to be the best division of all football this year.
Mm-hmm.
But Cardinals obviously is off to a shaky start. They've lost games they should have won. But it's the chemistry. D Hop's first season. I feel like they're gonna get it together near midseason.
Okay.
And then the Rams are playing decent actually. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen play decent defense. And then we already know about the Niners. Their injuries are stacking up. I think they lost Bosa for the season. Who else did they lose for the season? I think they lost like one or two more people.
I can't even tell you right
I
now.
know Garoppolo's coming back this week.
It's been crazy over there.
Mostert's getting healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Debo is back. Kittle's back. So I mean, they'll probably go back to like being like one of the top teams in the NFL, but they just got to
Yeah.
get first. It's basically going to be Seattle versus San Francisco the entire time, to be honest.
Listen, that division is so loaded, bro. That's my thing, right? You say the NFC West, right? Because you watch sports, and if we go to talk, we put a poll out on face. If we put a poll on Facebook after this, people would not even say the NFC West because you know why? Because they don't watch football and all they do is watch their own teams. If anybody says the NFC West is not the top 2 or 3 division in football, like I don't know what else to tell you because from top to bottom, the Cardinals are here.
Right.
They lost to the Lions because the little bad toddler it kept turning the ball over. But
right.
I feel like as far as I'm agree with you, that's gonna be that was gonna probably be my second one. But I'll agree with you because you already had said it.
Right.
The Rams, you got the Rams. They're so talented. Even though I'm not really a huge fan of them, I love their players. Like Aaron Donald, he might be one of the most dominant players in the league. Like he shifts the momentum. Like his presence is seismic on the field. So, actually, shout out to Neil Furtada. He wanted to get up on here to talk his gibberish. We give him a shout out. He's a Rams fan. And then going to the Cardinals. I think they're really good. You got Larry Fitz. You got a vet that is consistent. He knows what he's doing. Then you add D Hop to help the bad toddler out.
Kirk.
And then you have Chase Edmonds and Drake.
They're gonna get together though.
Yeah, definitely. Both good backs. And I feel like they're still adjusting to having D Hop.
Right.
Because he probably doesn't demand the ball, but you're gonna want to get him the ball because he's one of the best players on the field when both teams step on it, offense or defense. So like, and then going from there, you got the 49ers. 49ers are so talented. Like I said, they're probably one of the best young defenses in the league. They went and got rid of DeForest Buckner, and that helped out the NFC technically because he was destroying everybody. They still got Arik Armstead, Fred Warner. Fred Warner's probably top 5 linebackers in the league to
Brandon
me.
Ayuk, right?
Brandon Ayuk, we got to watch him.
Right.
I had to, when he did that leap, I turned on his tape immediately, and I had to put some respect on his name because that was an impressive play. That was a crazy play last week he had. And then going from there, you got what I said, the 49ers, Rams, Cardinals, and then who's the last one?
That's Seattle.
And then come on, man. Seattle
this year.
Seattle.
Him and Mahomes.
To me, yeah, man. That's the team. I feel like that's the team to beat in the NFC. As much as I want to be biased and put my boys up there, they got me a little frustrated right now, sitting at 2-2. So I can't talk my shit quite yet.
Right.
See me in week 8, week 9, week 10 when they got it together. But
around one of the playoffs,
what'd you say?
Or your guys round 1 of the playoffs,
Oh man, don't do the round. Don't do that. Don't throw that little jab right there. But I think Seattle is really good. Pete Carroll is he went out there and he's obviously, since he's gotten the league, he's created a culture for that team, and they kind of kept their identity through the Legion of Boom. They kind of they're not exactly the same guys anymore, but they're still talented. They got good young DBs. You got the best linebacker in football for the last 3 years, without a debate. He runs sideline to sideline, and he's like, what is he, like 5'11" or something like that? He's really
5'10",
small.
11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really small, and he dominates the game, like from first defensive snap to the end of the game. So they got so many good pieces, and you obviously got Russell Wilson. He's probably playing the best football in the league right now, across all positions, I feel like.
Yeah.
And
Metcalf's
obviously,
really stepping it up.
what'd you say?
DK Metcalf's really stepping up this year too.
Yeah, and DK, man. It's like why we have so many examples of why teams shouldn't listen to the media, and they still continue to listen to the media. Anybody could have got DK Metcalf, but he dropped because they said he couldn't play receiver in the league, or he's too stiff. And he's
I want
really
to draft Metcalf.
destroying corners. Like he made Gilmore look really bad.
Yeah, he went off on.
Like, former defensive player of the year had him reaching for the angels above, did not catch the ball. But I think he's really good. And you got Tyler Lockett. We cannot forget about him. He's such a monster. Um, I think he's really needs more respect in the league. I feel like he has it, but I
Yeah.
feel like as far as more respect in the league, I'm talking about viewers. People don't people don't pay attention to him until they see him that he's got 40 points against their fantasy team.
Right.
He really goes nuts. But my other division that I think is really good, or one of the best in the league, I'm gonna probably have to say I'm gonna go with the I'm gonna go with my division. I'm gonna have to go with my division. I think NFC South is really good. I feel like, because when we talk about the best division, we're talking about from top to bottom.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, teams that could compete, and they have some type of element to where they can win in a game from that element that they got. You obviously got the Bucks. Bucks are coming on strong. Um, we saw Mr. Perfect choke. Forget what down it was. He might be having dementia. I don't know what's going on with him.
He didn't
Um,
move.
he's a sore loser too, because
Perfect.
Nick Foles was looking for him to shake his hand, and he didn't want to do that. Anybody else would do that, all hell would break loose. But that's besides the point. I think the Bucks are really good. You got OJ Howard, Cameron Brate, Gronk. You have so many pieces,
Yeah.
but guess what?
I think OJ Howard's out for the season, by the
Oh
way.
yeah, and he's out. Yeah, obviously, yeah. I'm saying, but he's out now.
Yeah.
There's only one football though. There's only one football. You cannot throw 6 footballs at once. So that means
Right.
that somebody's not going to be happy that they're not getting the ball. It's kind of working out right now, because you got people that would be primary targets are out. Chris Godwin will be taking a lot of Mike Evans targets, because he's a different receiver. I feel like Mike Evans isn't what Brady is used to. I feel like a Godwin is a little bit more, because he can run more better intermediate routes, and he's quicker and obviously everything else. So I feel like he's going to thrive a little bit more. That's why Scotty Miller's showing up too. Going from there, I think we got to pay attention to the Panthers too. Panthers are really, really, really scary right now, because they're winning without McC. I don't think anybody paying attention. Teddy
Mike
Bridgewater.
Davis been on fire.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So he's going down the field. I'm watching the games, because I just like to keep track of what's going on in NFC South. But he's playing really good football right now. Their defense is pretty good. They're about one more piece. You got Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore,
DJ Moore's
you
been.
got Curtis Samuel. You have a lot of pieces to work with on that offense. And then you got Mike Davis. He's holding it down right now for McC. And that could be good that he developed now. So McC's plate isn't so full, but his plate is going to be full regardless. He needs to have 2,000 all purpose to give them a chance to even compete in the season. Going from there, and then we got the Bucks, the Panthers. You got the Falcons too. Falcons are really good just at offense. Their defense is really poor. But that's what has been the narrative for them forever. Since the beginning of time is their offense. It's never really been their defensive players. So I think With Calvin Ridley, you got Calvin Ridley, you got Matt Ryan, Julio. You got Todd Gurley. I'm hoping Todd Gurley really appears in the league. Um,
Yeah, they just need to
I,
block him better, to be honest.
yeah, I want him to come. I want him to come back and and really be what he was. They're gonna keep saying the injury thing, but he's still out there. He's still making his money. I feel like he can still play at a high level. So with them, I feel like they got a chance. I don't want them to have a chance because that means that lessens the Saints' chances. But I like watching their offense, them play, and then going from there. My team, as far as the Saints, they just need to stay healthy. I think they're definitely one of the most talented rosters in the league, from top to bottom. I think a lot of people don't really pay attention to their defense, but if you really watch them, they're a very good defense, but they just too many penalties. They kind of shoot themselves in the foot as far as that. Um, and I think the offense too, going to offense. The offense is going to be the offense for the Saints.
Yeah, Kamara's
Um,
been carrying the
yeah,
offense on his back.
and that's my thing. People get crazy or they don't like when I say things like Alvin Kamara is the best running back in the league, and then he's leading the league in all touchdowns. And then they're like, he's not the best running back in the league. Well, he kind of is, and he kind of has been just destroying on just with no respect. To be honest, they respect him, but at the same time, they don't put him up there because he's not going in between the tackles every play. He's doing screens and all this other type of shit. So, I think as when Mike Thomas comes back, I think they're going to be very difficult to beat. And I do want to, leading to that, I do want to say something about Drew Brees' arm. You saw the video I shared to you. It was Talib and Sanders talking.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
it's,
Before
and
you
it's,
say that, before you start, I had no clue sleep sounded like that.
oh, you did it?
I had no clue. He
Oh
sound.
yeah.
I was like, is that really
the
how
way
sleep?
the way he is, because he's all bully on the field and everything.
His voice sounded. I did not expect his voice to sound like that.
He was
It,
on your team. You ain't hear what he said. Well, then again, what's the name? Bill Belichick got he has a gag order on everybody in that organization. They can't talk.
right. I thought it was like a fake audio or something. I was like, this. There's no way this is his voice.
Yeah. But I think yeah, and another thing is like I said, I shared that video to you because it's been what I've been saying the entire time to everybody. Drew Brees has never been the person to launch the ball 65 yards down the field. That was my argument. His arm may not be the same, but he has never been Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady to throw to Randy Moss dead drop at 70, 60 yards. Is just not what he does. And like I feel like that's just like a way to try to push him out a little bit quicker or get him off his game. But I don't think he's listening or whatever. But um, I think a lot of people with Drew Brees' arm is they don't really watch the offense. And like I'm cool with him being that quarterback for this year. And then that's it. So that's my spill on the two divisions. I think the West and South in the NFC. I think there's other divisions that are coming along, but two other teams or another team needs to emerge before you consider their like divisions to be dominant. So
So
that's my
my
spill.
second one, probably after looking through it before we started, I'm probably gonna have to go to AFC North because Steelers, Ravens, those are your
You're
like
right.
two of the top 10 teams in
Very
the
true.
NFL. Steelers defense,
Mm-hmm.
we already know where they're at. One of the best in the league so far. TJ Watt, all those guys.
Ooh, I don't get man, you make me want to switch mine.
TJ,
The only reason I would have said them, but then you got the Bucks here now, and they got Tom Brady, so I'm gonna
right?
because that brings a team in, and then the Panthers are playing good football right now, so that's why I will put that. And then the are just Falcons would be up there 2-1 or whatever it is, 3-1 if they could hold a lead. So
Yeah,
it's just like, but that is a very good point. The AFC North is very dangerous,
yeah, yeah. The
very dangerous.
the Steelers, they were already a top 10 defense last year
Mm-hmm.
without Big Ben, and now they actually have like a decent or reliable quarterback because they had to rely on Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph last year. So
Yeah.
their offense was nothing, and Connor was hurt most of the year. But now James Conner is doing all right. Big Ben's making plays. They can easily be. They might be able to win the division if the Ravens don't play their cards right. And then the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, that high-powered offense.
Mm-hmm.
Defense got better with Calais Campbell. It's just they just gotta put it together because
Chuck Clark is gonna be one of the best safeties in the league soon. Watch for him. He's a young talent. There's definitely a reason why Earl Thomas. I think the story was, I don't know what I kind of read this a little bit online, that he was a bit jealous because he was taking the snaps.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong on that. I kind of saw something like that on Twitter. But Chuck Clark, I like the way he plays.
So. Right. And then Lamar's been kind of on the low this year, but they play for the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure once the playoff time comes, they'll be ready to go at it. They just got to make sure they don't sleep like last year.
Yeah, definitely.
They got wrecked by Derrick Henry. Cleveland might be a controversial one, but I mean they're
what are we gonna say? They're 3-1.
Right. The Steelers are 3-1. The Ravens are 3-1, and the Browns are 3-1.
Wait, the Steelers they lost?
They lost to someone. I know.
No,
that.
They didn't.
Are you sure?
Nah, they beat the Texans. They were losing to the Texans, and then they came back.
I thought they lost to some. Oh no, they're 3-0. Right. They'll have 3 wins. That's what I meant to say.
Oh yeah, the 3-0 because of the game, the Titans game.
Yeah. I'm gonna say every 3 out of 4 teams in that division have 3 wins already.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, well, back then before he was injured, but Nick Chubb was having a great season. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That probably one of the top 5 dangerous running back duos in the league. You put them in the game.
Definitely.
Yeah, OBJ is starting to come back a little bit. Jarvis Landry. Let's see. Baker Mayfield. I mean, it is probably better that they're doing run first, so they're not having the game exactly in Baker's hands.
Yeah.
You have Baker throw less. There's going to be less problems because he's been struggling ever since like the middle of last year. Because he had a great freshman year, and then next thing you know, last year dropped off. This year doing all right, but the defense has been stepping up too. And then the Bengals might be. I feel like they're going to be maybe like 2 or 3 games out of a playoff spot, maybe 4 by the time the season ends.
So you think? You think what, 7-9?
7-9, 6-10.
It won't be like terrible. And I feel like that's a good improvement too. You feel me?
Yeah, because Joe Burrow.
I like Joe Burrow. I like him. Him.
I mean, if he had like a decent offensive line, who knows where they'd be at right now?
Yeah,
I see him every weekend just running for his life.
And I think he's gonna probably have a talk with them, like, if y'all want me to be around or last, like, y'all need to go and trade or get more picks, something, and start scouting for linemen, the best linemen in the country. Protect me.
Joe Mixon came back last week. He showed up again. Because I think
I like Mixon's game too.
Yeah, he was arguably the best running back that week. On Sunday, and then their offense is pretty good, and this is without AJ Green.
Yeah, definitely.
Tyler Boyd's going off. T. Higgins is making some production here and there. They had the center Uzoma, I think that's how you say it, but he was doing decent before he got injured. The Bengals defense is actually showing up. They just gotta make some changes on defense and then get an O-line for Burrow. That team could be pretty good, even better than the Andy Dalton Bengals, the ones that won like 12-4 or like 11-5 that one year. It has the potential, to be honest.
Definitely. Going from there, let's see. As far as we're talking about the best divisions, we were gonna do offensive positions. We'll do 2 of them today. We're gonna go with your top 5 tight ends right now in the game.
Gotcha.
In the game.
We want to go 1 to 5, 5 to 1.
It don't matter. Well, actually, just say the top. Just say the top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 1, I'd probably go with. I'll probably say George Kittle. Because, he's basically that's Gronk Jr. right there. Because he's got so many comparisons to Gronk Jr. And you saw the game against the Eagles. He proved why he's one of the best. He's
He
the
that
best.
dude. He that dude.
Right. You know what production you get out of him every time he steps on the field. He can go
Definitely.
for easily 150, 2 touchdowns easily. Because he's one of the few 49ers weapons. Because they usually run a lot, but he can ball out when you need him to.
Yeah, definitely.
Number two, do I want to say Mark Andrews? You know what? Yeah, I'll probably say Mark Andrews number two because that's Lamar Jackson's security blanket. He goes to him a lot because he needs to start going out to different receivers. But
Mm-hmm.
until that, Mark Andrews is gonna have a high quality of look, so they're gonna keep going to him. Let's see, number three, because I was not prepared for tight ends. I was looking for more other stuff, but let's see. Because that might be hard because usually they get like a top 3 or 4 tight ends. Let's see,
Yeah.
maybe
Kind of a drop off.
yeah. Oh, actually, I'm gonna put Travis Kelsey number two, and
Yeah,
then
I
like
was
oh,
like, what are we talking about here?
right, I
I was like,
Kelsey two.
I'm like, you're naming everybody. I'm like, Kelsey
I
four
was like,
on
hold
your
on,
list?
I forgot about Travis Kelsey to be
Big Loco?
right.
Bro,
I'll,
that he be playing ISO basketball on the football field at tight end.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Kelsey two, Andrews three.
All right, all right.
I completely forgot about him. I don't know how I forgot about him. Let's see, and then I'd probably go with number four, probably Darren Waller from the Raiders. Then
Okay.
I know I'm probably you're looking at me like I'm probably forgetting someone.
Nah,
So
you missed. I was like, Kelsey's not on his list. I was like, I
yeah, I was
respect
like
it.
I know I'm forgetting someone.
I was like, hey, it is what it is.
Let's see. Then number five. See, number five could be a toss up to be honest, because I have who is it? Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews, Waller. I want to say Colts Titans. This one's hard to be honest because you can go with Noah Fant, you can go with Hunter Henry.
This is
Oh,
your fifth, right?
yeah, right.
Yeah, you can go with your my fifth is gonna go with my personal favorite to watch. So
You know what? I'm gonna go with yeah, I'm gonna go with Hunter Henry
okay.
because even without Philip Rivers, he's still putting up decent numbers. He's not putting up like as good numbers because
Mm-hmm.
he's been mixed with Tyrod Taylor and Herbert, but once him and Herbert get a connection, I feel like his numbers and his plays can go severely up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Kelsey, Kittle, Darren Waller, Mark Andrews, and then Mike Gesicki. I like Mike Gesicki to I feel like this is the season he's gonna show that he could play at a high level at tight end. He's a hybrid. He's kind of like I don't know. You watch him because you played against. He's in the AFC East, but he's like I don't know. It's like Evan Ingram, but just
I
like
think
just bigger.
right.
Like he's just bigger, and he might just be as fast. To be honest, like, and I feel like he's really good. I wanted the Saints to get him when he was coming out for the draft because I feel like they could have really used him at that point, but they went with defensive line. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna say for tight ends. I think it's really similar. Like I feel like 1 and 2 is always gonna be Kelsey Kittle.
Yeah.
Is really based on how you what you want. But I feel like they both block well and they both catch the ball well. And I feel like Kelsey is a little bit better at making people miss than Kittle. So I'd rather put him because what Kelsey does with the ball after catch is he might be the best at doing it at running after catch. he makes people miss immediately, which is like not a lot of tight ends can do. So going from there, let's go with the running backs. We're gonna do top 5 running backs. I'm gonna start it off here. We got I'm me personally, I think the all-purpose guru. He's been I feel like he's been one of the best backs since he's came in the league. Is Alvin Kamara. Um, and he's just different. He catches every football that's thrown his way, which is just nuts. And then from there, I'm gonna go with Zeke, because I think Zeke is just no matter what his team is going through, you can count on him to be the dog he is. And I'm gonna go with Mixon at that point. We're gonna DQ Barkley because Barkley's obviously done,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And then I'll probably go. Not having Barkley there is tough. It's just like it's like, bruh, who else am I supposed to play? But I'm gonna say Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a force. You really can't do anything with him. You have to literally high low him every time he touches the football. It may not be legal, but you will have to do it. Uh, and then last, fifth, I'm gonna go with somebody that really is tearing up the league, and he's gonna be a problem. And the AFC is gonna have to deal with him. I'm gonna go with Josh Jacobs, man. Josh Jacobs is he's one of my favorite players to watch, especially after the Saints game. I didn't realize how tough he was, and how physical he was as a runner with his size. And he could really catch the ball, run between the tackles, make people miss, run through people. So
Too.
yeah, so I'll say those. I'm gonna say Kamara, Zeke, McC, Derrick Henry, and then Josh Jacobs for my top 5 backs right now.
I mean, we pretty much have the same first two,
Yeah.
Kamara and Zeke. I'm gonna go with number 3, someone you didn't mention, from the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He's been going off multi-purpose yards, just like
And I,
Kamara.
and I was thinking about putting him at 3. But I don't want to. I didn't. For me personally, I didn't want to put like all like the catching backs.
Yeah.
Because I'm a guy that like when I played, I like watch all of them. So I wanted to put a blend of like of
Yeah.
everybody. So,
Yeah.
but hey, Aaron Jones is that dude, man. He that dude.
I have him on my fantasy team, so he's killing it too.
He got disrespected last year by not making the Pro Bowl.
Right.
He really had a phenomenal year last
So
year too.
Kamara, Zeke. Then we're gonna go with Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, I'll probably go with Nick Chubb before he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically him and Hunt are basically the go-to guys for the Browns because they can't trust Baker at the moment.
Yep.
I think he's out for 5 to 6 weeks, so we'll see what he does when he comes back. And then number 5, probably because he was out for like a good portion of the beginning of the season, probably CMC, because we know what that man can do when he's healthy.
Yeah.
We saw him last year.
And if he, and mine will probably change too. Like I'm because he's on IR right now.
Yeah.
So I will say this. I'll say this because I did put McC. He's obviously injured, but he's not out. So I'll put him in there.
Yeah, so I put him 5th.
For I being an IR, I will be like, all right, boom. I will probably put I'll probably put Derrick Henry at 4. Leave Josh Jacobs at 5, and then put Aaron Jones. Like Aaron Jones to me is like him and Kamara. They may not be the same body type or whatever, but they run very similar.
Same play style.
And they have the same play style. Like they can run through the tackles, bounce off of people, keep their balance, keep running, and I feel like they could just catch any pass too. So like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of having Aaron Jones at 2nd. And was like, I'll give Zeke the slight edge.
Yeah, so, his time is running out though. His name Juice that is running out. For real. Right. So, yeah. So those are the top 5 running backs, tight ends, personally between me and Phil. And then lastly, I want to talk about we just talk about best in the league right now. I want to talk about one of the greatest heists that is currently happening. We need to start a GoFundMe for the Dallas Cowboys because they're being robbed. And his name goes by DeMarcus Lawrence. He's completely robbing.
MIA.
he's robbing the Dallas Cowboys of a contract of 5 years and $105 million. 48 million fully guaranteed. And when he signed on a dotted line, he got $25 million.
Brock Osweiler robbery.
I think I'm going to start a petition. Cowboys fans, you guys should get behind me because this man hasn't had a sack in over 400 snaps on defense.
He's on the back of a carton somewhere.
We need to talk about this. Dallas Cowboys, you guys are getting robbed. And he last year was talking so much shit. I don't know if people remember, where he's going on Twitter calling out all journalists on what he's going to do. He had 5.5 sacks last year. So right now, if you want to call the Dallas Cowboys and start a GoFundMe, I'm going to start a petition for that because they're being robbed by one of their best players. And I want to just say another thing is the Cowboys fans, you guys should just like take it week by week. Don't think about the Super Bowl because you're never going to get there again. It's not the 90s. So take it week by week. That's what I do as a Saints fan. Take it week by week and then get my heart broken in the playoffs. That's how it goes. And then I'm not, I don't sit here and say Saints to the Super Bowl. Y'all never see me say that. You ain't gonna find a post where I tweet it or Facebook Saints to the Super Bowl. It's week 1, it's week 2, and so on. Then when we get to the playoffs, then I can talk my shit to everybody's team that didn't make it. So
because I remember what happened last year.
Listen, man,
we lost to the Titans on Saturday, and on Saturday. Then Sunday night, I'm like, let me take someone real quick. There's a spot for you on the couch.
Oh man, where you at? Where you at? Shout out to my boy Nick Woodman. So we gotta get him out here.
Definitely,
like, he's a Vikings fan.
I know he was. He had some words for you after that game.
Oh man, nah. He really. I don't think he said much because he knew. He was like, "Yo." I think we were talking about a little debatable on the push off. But PJ Williams should have won that battle, but he didn't. So yeah. I don't really complain too much. Like, it's football, and it doesn't come down to one play in the game. You have like 80, 90 snaps on each side of the ball to put the game in your favor. So I don't think it ever comes down to one play. Because if it was one play, in a football game, imagine that you got to line up at the 20-yard line, stop them from scoring. You stop them from scoring, you win the game. Imagine that. But I want to thank everybody that's tuned in so far. Really appreciate Phil for jumping on this Zoom call and completing this episode with me. Shout out to Kenny. We need you back, man. It's not the same.
Right.
We about to play the small violin.
Let's talk and pay our bills.
Oh man, but yeah, yo, Kenny, we need you to come back. All right.
Right.
We need you to come back to the show, and you need to, when you come back, you need to go to the Falcons and tell them not to blow any more leads because we need you guys to take out the Buccaneers. Both games. Both of them.
Right.
Both of them, please. But like I said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to Inspired by True Events. One last thing before we do go. I want to give a special shout out to my boy Rick. He put this shirt together for me, luxury lifestyle. So this is a one-on-one because that's what I like doing now, one-on-ones. He put the t-shirt together for me. And then also another thing, hold on. I want to give another shout out to my boy Fresh. He put these sneakers together for me. I want to give him a shout out right on the thing.
Okay.
He's put he painted these himself. Special little concept that he's done. He's took his time. So definitely, if you guys are interested, definitely reach out to me. He's definitely getting launched with an Instagram page and everything soon. So I wanted to give 2 shout outs to my boys that are just good people. So appreciate y'all for tuning into this episode. You have a blessed night.
Peace.
Boom. And we're good.